It started with a moment that hit like a tire blowing out on I-25. Last summer, the Wilsons' backyard barbecue was alive, burgers sizzling, charcoal smoke curling into the hot air, sunscreen and cut grass sharp in the nose. Kids screeched through sprinklers, sneakers squelching on wet grass, adults clustered, beers and wine glasses in hand, chatter blending with cicadas. Sarah, my wife of 8 years, stood by the picnic table, laugh sharp, wine glass catching the late afternoon sun. I was at the grill with Tom Wilson, flipping patties, debating whether the Broncos' new quarterback had a shot against Kansas City. "Mike, you're burning those burgers again. Can you focus for once?" Her words cut, sharp, heads turned. 2 women exchanged tight smiles, earrings glinting. I forced a grin, face hot. "Got it handled, Sarah." Pulse hammering, spatula scraping the grill. Tom leaned in, voice low, flannel brushing the grill. "She's just messing with you, man. Those patties look prime." He clapped my shoulder, awkward but solid. "Remember last year with the brisket?" I jabbed a patty. "Yeah, Tom, but you didn't have a critic broadcasting it." My voice light, gut churned. Third public jab that week, Tuesday, my parallel parking at a brewery. Mocked. Thursday, co-worker dinner. Rolled eyes about the garage door. "Always a joke," she'd said, disrespect in disguise. That night, ceiling fan buzzing, mattress creaking, I tried. "Sarah, what's with the shots at me?" "The barbecue thing. Why in front of everyone?" She rolled over, back to me, phone glowing on the nightstand. "You're too sensitive, Mike. It's a joke. Chill." Didn't feel like one. Felt like she wanted me small. She tapped the pillow, sighing loud. "Good grief, Mike. Not everything's about you. Fridge humming? Fix that if you want to be useful." I clenched my fists under the blanket. "I'm trying to talk, Sarah. Why do you keep doing this?" She sat up, hair over her shoulder, glasses catching phone glow. "Maybe because you're always serious, always at work, always missing the point. I'm having fun and you can't deal." She flopped back, bed creaking. I didn't answer. The fridge hummed through the wall, low and constant. If I'd known how far she'd push, I'd have left. The next week, I drew a line. Sarah had been racking up charges on the joint credit card. Wine bars, boutiques, needless stuff. Done subsidizing her games. I called the bank, cancelled the card, opened a new one in my name. She stormed into the kitchen, phone flashing with a declined transaction. "You cut me off." "Are you serious, Mike?" I leaned on the counter, coffee warm in my hands. "Yeah, done bankrolling your girls' nights. You want to spend? Use your own cash." Her eyes widened, fingers tightening on the phone. "You're unbelievable." "Maybe sell some of those wine glasses you never use," I said, setting the mug down. Counter cool under my palm, I smirked, watching her face blanch. She stormed out, door slamming, hinges rattling. It felt good, like reclaiming a piece of myself. The weeks after were a slow unraveling. Sarah's behavior sharpened, testing limits, strong-willed, quick-witted, once the part of her I loved. Now a blade, cutting deeper than expected. Cold for days, barely looking up while I dragged myself home from satellite project deadlines, eyes burning from schematics. I asked about her day, hoping for a spark. "It's fine," she muttered, thumb scrolling, phone glow flickering. I suggested a weekend in Estes Park. Hiking, a cabin, just us. She scoffed, wine glass clinking sharply. "A forced vacation pass, Mike. I'm not into playing happy couple." I saw the signs, clipped replies, sarcasm like a verdict, pauses to text mid-conversation. I thought we could fix it. Cooked her favorite lemon herb chicken, kitchen smelling of garlic and thyme. Took over laundry, suggested counseling. She'd brush it off, sharp voice, "You're trying too hard," or "I don't need a shrink to tell me how to live." It wasn't just distance, it was control, making me feel like I had to audition for her respect. One evening, I came home late with Thai takeout from KFAX. The bag crinkled, basil and lemongrass drifting through the kitchen, linoleum cool under my boots. Eyes stinging from work, I'd driven across town to get her order right. "Got your basil chicken?" I called, setting the bag on the counter, fingers digging into the edge. Sarah glanced up from her laptop on the couch, glasses catching the light. Fingers paused on the keys. "Not spicy noodles, right? You know I can't stand those." I checked the bag. Basil chicken, exactly as ordered. She nudged it with her foot, sock brushing the floor. "Whatever, not hungry," she said, returning to typing, clicks loud in the quiet. I stood there, fridge humming, counter cold. Something clicked, not loud but deep. This wasn't about food, it was her refusing to budge an inch. I grabbed a beer, the cap popping with a hiss. "Suit yourself, I'm eating." Her head snapped up, glasses slipping. "What's that supposed to mean?" "I'm done begging for your approval." I sat at the table, chair creaking, fork scraping the plate. She stood, arms crossed, shadow falling across me. "You're making a scene over food," she said. "Eat or don't," I said, eyes on my plate. "I'm not your delivery guy. Maybe call an Uber Eats for your ego." Her fingers twitched. "You're blowing this up because I'm not hungry. Maybe if you were here more, I wouldn't eat alone." I set the fork down, leaned back, scratching my jaw. "I'm here, Sarah. I brought dinner. You're the one pushing it away. What's the real deal? You tired of me or just playing games?" She froze, mouth opening then closing, fingers tapping her arm. "You wouldn't get it," she snapped, storming off, bedroom door slamming, frame rattling. I ate in silence, chicken tasting like ash, fridge humming, filling the void. Another step toward freedom came with the garage. I'd always tinkered, but Sarah had claimed it for wine crates and old furniture. One weekend, I hauled her stuff to the attic, stairs creaking under my boots, and set up a workbench, tools organized, radio humming classic rock. She noticed, hands on hips. "What's this, Mike? You're taking over the garage now?" I wiped my hands on a rag, smell of motor oil sharp. "Yep, need a space that's mine." "You've got the house. Figure this is fair." She scoffed, earrings glinting. "You're so selfish." I tossed the rag on the bench. "Nah, just done letting you call all the shots." She walked away, door clicking shut. Radio played on, I felt steadier. Sarah's absences grew. One Thursday I got home at 7. House dark, porch light flickering through blinds, casting stripes on hardwood. Car not in the driveway, no note, no text. I called, voicemail, beep sharp in the quiet. At 8, she came in, purse swinging, smelling of gin and jasmine, heels clicking as she kicked them off. "Where were you?" I asked, leaning on the counter, coffee maker gurgling, steam curling. "Out with Lisa Newer on Lerma," she said, avoiding my eyes, tossing her purse on the couch. "A text would have been nice. I was worried." She laughed sharp, brushing hair back. "Worried? I'm not a kid, Mike." I set my mug down, ceramic clinking, counter cool under my palm. "It's called respect, Sarah. Marriage means something. Or it's supposed to." She poured water, movements jerky, glass clinking against the sink. "Don't lecture me. You're always at work. Leaving me to deal with everything. Everything." I stepped closer, boots heavy. "I'm killing myself at Lockheed, 60-hour weeks to keep us afloat. You think I love staring at schematics till midnight? What's your excuse for freezing me out?" She slammed the glass down, water splashing, fingers trembling. "Maybe I'm just tired of you." She brushed past, faucet dripping, perfume lingering. I rubbed my neck. Noted. Headed to the garage, door creaking, tinkering with the lawnmower, clank of metal steadying my pulse. Next morning, Mrs. Carter watered her roses, grey hair tied back, hose hissing softly. "Sarah's car was out late," she said, eyes curious. "You two okay?" I shut the mailbox, its hinges squeaking, metal cold under my hand. "Working through some stuff, Mrs. Carter," I said. She tilted her head, watering can in hand. "Marriage is work, Mike. Take 2. You're a good man. Don't forget that." Her words lingered, quiet but steady, like an anchor. I took another step forward, signing up for a hiking group through a coworker. Saturday mornings, I hit the trails outside Denver, air crisp with pine, the group's chatter cutting through the echoes of Sarah's silence. Jake, a scruffy bearded welder, noticed me lagging behind. Boots crunching on gravel, he tossed me a water bottle. "Rough week?" The plastic crinkled in his hand. "Rough year," I said, taking it, wiping sweat from my brow. "Marriage stuff," he nodded, kicking a pebble down the trail. "Been there, had an ex who made everything a fight. You'll figure it out, man. Keep hiking, clears the head." His easy grin felt like a lifeline, a glimpse of a life I could have. The tension flared again at a Sunday brunch on KFAX with Lisa, Greg and some of Sarah's co-workers. The cafe buzzed, espresso machines hissing, plates clinking, the aroma of roasted coffee and bacon thick in the air. Sarah sipped a mimosa, earrings catching the light, laugh loud and rehearsed. She leaned in, voice sugary. Mike's been so busy, he forgot to fix the dishwasher. We're living like cavemen. Fawkes paused. Lisa smirked, stirring her latte. I set my coffee down, ceramic thudding, leaned back, chair creaking. Funny, Sarah, I fixed it last week. Maybe you forgot how to load it. The table went quiet. A barista shouted from the counter. Lisa coughed into her napkin. Greg grinned, glasses fogging. Sarah's fingers tightened on her glass, eyes narrowing. You don't have to be a jerk, Mike. Nah, I said, scratching my jaw, just keeping it real. You want caveman? Try washing dishes by hand. Bet you'd miss that dishwasher then. Claire, another co-worker, chimed in. My husband broke ours last month. Hand washing's the worst. Laughter rippled around the table. Sarah's charm faltered, fingers tapping her glass. I'd flipped the script and it felt good. Another clash came at a locked team happy hour in a crowded brewery. Exposed brick, the air thick with hops and chatter. Sarah arrived, smile tight, wine glass clutched like armor. My co-worker Sam bragged about a milestone. Sarah cut in, sweet but sharp. Mike's always got work excuses. No wonder the porch light's been out for weeks. Pints paused mid-air. Sam raised an eyebrow, glass clinking down. I leaned back, stool creaking, smirked. Yeah, Sarah, I'll fix that light. Right after I solve world hunger. And get you a new audience for your stand-up routine. The table erupted in laughter. Sam chuckled, another co-worker slapped the bar. Sarah's fingers twitched on her glass, smile tight. You're hilarious, Mike, she muttered, eyes cold. Sam leaned in. Light looked fine when I dropped by. You good, man? I nodded, sipping my beer. I wasn't playing her game anymore. The tension reached its peak at Lisa and Greg's dinner in Aurora. Their patio glowed with fairy lights, warm late summer air carrying the scent of grilled vegetables and wine. The table cluttered with bottles, lasagna plates, crumpled napkins. Sarah, 3 Pinot Noir in, cheeks flushed, earrings catching the light, smiled too brightly. But I saw it for what it was. Performance, not affection. I didn't flinch. I kept my glass steady, letting the world feel mine, step by step, boundary by boundary. Mike's so busy, Sarah said, voice dripping with fake sweetness. No time to mow the lawn, our yard's a jungle. Lisa cackled, tossing her hair, wine sloshing in her glass. Greg's eyes met mine, apologetic, fingers tapping his bottle. I took a sip of my IPA, chair creaking under me, and set the bottle down with a deliberate clink. Funny, Sarah, I said, leaning back, boots scuffing the patio. You haven't touched a rake in years. Want me to book you a landscaper, or too busy practicing your one-liners? Her smile stiffened, fingers tightening on her glass. It's embarrassing, Mike. The neighbors notice. I'm not your groundskeeper, I said, calm, elbows on the table. The wood creaked under my weight. Lisa laughed too loud, shrill. It's just a lawn, you two. Let's not bicker over grass. Greg set his beard aside, glass clinking. Yard looked fine when I drove by. Sarah's eyes narrowed. Don't be mean, Mike. I'm not the one turning our marriage into a punchline, I said, voice steady. The words hung heavy, fairy lights flickering above us. Lisa pivoted, voice sharp. So, my new listing in Cherry Creek, gorgeous place, 3 bedrooms. Greg nodded, fingers tapping the bottle. Sarah stared, cold, wine untouched. I held her gaze, unflinching. The drive home was silent, streetlights flashing across her face as she stared out the window, fingers drumming the armrest. You going to keep this up? I asked, gripping the wheel, leather creaking. Jabbing me in front of your friends. She didn't turn, voice low. Step up, Mike. Step up. I laughed, knuckles tightening on the wheel. I'm working 60-hour weeks, Sarah, killing myself to keep us afloat. I'm trying to hold us together. What are you doing besides cutting me down? Her eyes flashed. Don't blame me. You're never here. You don't even see me. Then talk to me, I snapped, voice echoing in the car, horn blaring outside. Stop the games and talk. She went silent, jaw tight, fingers still. At home, she locked the bedroom door with a sharp click. I slept on the couch, TV flickering with a muted football game, mind racing. That night, I stopped sending her updates. No texts about my schedule, no heads up when I'd be home. I ate out, hit the gym, reclaimed my time. She noticed. She didn't like it. One night, she cornered me in the kitchen, faucet dripping, air smelling faintly of dish soap. "Where were you?" "No heads up," she snapped, hair pulled back, eyes sharp, fingers tapping her phone. "Had stuff to do," I said, pouring water. Glass clinking against the pitcher, counter cool under my palm. "Yep," she hissed, foot tapping. "Maybe I'm practicing for the world's worst husband award. Think I'm a shoo-in," I muttered, brushing past her, heading to the guest room. Door clicked shut. My rules now. At Dave's birthday in Lakewood, the backyard was alive. String lights, folding tables, fire pit spitting sparks into the night. Dave, a contractor with a laugh like a freight train, grilled steaks, sizzle mixing with classic rock from a speaker. Karen, his wife, poured drinks with nurse-like efficiency, ponytail swinging. Friends, co-workers, clients in flannel and work boots. Sarah flitted between groups, laugh carrying over the music, charming everyone. I knew the play. This wasn't fun, it was performance, and I wasn't giving her the audience anymore. She shone bright, then struck when I wasn't looking. By the fire pit, I was talking to Dave about a new propulsion system at work, the flames throwing long shadows across our faces. Sarah slid in, wine glass glinting. "Mike's always got a big project," she said, smiling at Dave, voice syrupy. "Too bad he can't fix the sink at home." Dave chuckled, flipping a steak, tongs clicking. "I didn't call a plumber, Sarah," I said, leaning back, beer bottle cool in my hand. "I'm not your handyman. Or supposed to solve world hunger by dinner." Her eyes flashed, smile tightening, fingers gripping her glass. "Priorities, Mike." "Yeah," I shot back, voice low, setting the bottle down with a deliberate clink. "Enjoying my night instead of playing your errand boy." Dave raised his beer, laughing. "Am I right? Or am I right?" Karen, wiping her hands on a dish towel, shot me a sharp look from across the fire pit, eyes steady. Later, by the cooler, she pulled me aside, voice low, hands still damp. "Mike, you okay? Sarah's been rough on you. I've seen it at these things." I cracked the beer, cap hissing. "Just navigating it. Thanks for checking." She leaned closer, tone firm. "You're a good guy, Mike. Don't let her dim what makes you you." Her words hit like a lifeline. Sarah ignored me the rest of the night, laughter sharper, hand lingering on a client's arm, earrings catching the firelight. I didn't bite. Next morning, I called Mark, my real estate buddy, coffee mug steaming on the counter. I also moved $12,000 of our savings into a new account. Steady fingers, no hesitation. Not to hurt her, just to protect what I'd earned. Sarah's phone buzzed constantly, replies angled away, fingers flying. One Saturday in the garage, organizing tools, air thick with oil and sawdust, I heard her on the deck, voice low and conspiratorial. "He's clueless," she laughed, "busy with his rockets or whatever. Yeah, I'll be there." I froze, hand on a wrench, fluorescent light flickering overhead, shadows dancing across the walls. My chest tightened, not jealousy, but clarity, like a fog lifting. I didn't confront her. I watched closer. Late nights, vague excuses, the way she shifted topics when I asked who she was texting. Not proof, but enough. That evening, I called Dave, needing air. Brewery, thick with hops, bars cool under my elbows. "Ever feel like you're losing the thread with someone?" I asked, staring at my pint, foam settling. Dave leaned back, flannel creased, boots scuffing the floor. "Saw it at the party, man. Sarah's off. Or maybe you're just seeing her clear now. She's been throwing jabs. You holding up?" I tapped my glass, fingers cold, getting there, just figuring out what's next. He clapped my shoulder, hand heavy. "You're solid, Mike. Always have been. Whatever you choose, you got this. Hell, come by next weekend. Karen's making chili. No pressure, just good company." I smirked, setting my glass down. Chili sounded better than dodging Sarah's zingers. His laugh echoed, and for a moment I felt lighter. A month later, I was sleeping in the guest room. Lumpy mattress, but mine, the air faintly dusty. Sarah's behavior worsened, dishes piled in the sink, crusted with food, knowing I'd clean them to avoid a fight. Plans made without telling me, then complaints when I didn't show up, her tone sharp when I asked about her day. One night I came home to her on the phone in the living room, voice mocking, laugh cutting. Mike, probably at the office, living large. Her words crawled under my skin, a private comedy show at my expense. I leaned against the doorframe, waiting. She hung up, phone clattering on the coffee table. I stayed silent, letting it hang. "I need to talk, Sarah," I said, boots heavy on the hardwood, the floor creaking under my weight. She sighed, tossing her phone onto the couch, cushions puffed up where it landed. "What now, Mike?" Her voice was sharp, edged with exhaustion. I stepped closer, reaching for her arm, searching for a glimpse of the woman I'd married 9 years ago. "I'm trying here. Can we just—" She jerked away, earrings catching the light. "Don't touch me. I'm not playing wife tonight." Her smirk said she thought she'd won. I nodded slowly, rubbing my neck. The silence thickened between us. "You won't have to anymore." Her laugh was sharp, dismissive, fingers tapping the couch. "What's that supposed to mean?" I didn't answer. I grabbed my keys, the jangle loud in the quiet house. By the time I drove to Mark's office, the city lights blurred past, my mind set. By morning, the divorce papers were signed, lawyer retained, my pen steady. No war, just out. The next day, a rented U-Haul rumbled in the driveway. Sarah was at work, leaving me with the house's silence. Sunlight spilled across the hardwood as I packed tools, books, and the 55-inch TV I'd bought with a bonus. I left her furniture, clothes, and wine collection untouched. No pettiness, just a clean break. By the time she came home, I was loading the last box. The sun hung low, orange, shadows long across the lawn. She stood in the driveway, hands on her hips, blazer wrinkled, hair loose. "What the heck, Mike?" Her voice trembled, purse slipping from her shoulder. I closed the truck door, the metal clanging. Wiped my hands on my jeans. "I'm done, Sarah. Papers are on the counter." Her face went pale, fingers clutching the purse. "You're serious? Over what?" "Because I didn't hug you." I stepped closer, boots crunching gravel, voice low. "No, because you decided I wasn't worth respecting. Good luck with that." My gaze flicked to Mrs. Carter, watering her roses next door. Hose dripping, eyes wide, observing. "You're just leaving after 8 years. You can't walk away like this," Sarah said, voice cracking. "I'm not walking," I said, climbing into the truck, seat creaking, keys jangling. "I'm done chasing you." I drove off, her silhouette shrinking in the rear view. Mrs. Carter's hose hissed faintly. Her voicemails started that night, pleading, then angry, voice breaking. "Mike, we can fix this. Don't throw away our life." I blocked her after the third. Silence at last. Colorado's no-fault laws made it clean. Savings stayed mine. House mortgage in her name. She wanted control. She got it. 6 months later, I'm thriving. My downtown loft glows with light, walls lined with photos, summits in Rocky Mountain National Park, campfires with friends, bold paintings from local art fairs. Weekends alive with hikes, gravel crunching underfoot, laughter with my crew at dusk. At work, I lead a new propulsion project, focus razor sharp, desk cluttered with sketches and coffee cups. I met Eleanor at a trivia night, a graphic designer with a quick smile, sharp wit, laughter cutting through the crowd. We're taking it slow, her humor matching mine, and for the first time in years, I feel seen, not judged. Dave and Karen had me over for ribs last weekend, backyard warm with laughter, grill sizzling. Karen pulled me aside, voice low, hands damp from dishes. Heard Sarah's struggling, mortgages crushing her, she's asking about you. I sipped my beer, mountain steady in the distance. She made her choice, I said. Dave clapped my shoulder, flannel untucked, laugh booming. She's trapped in that house, man. Friends bailing, charms wearing thin. I nodded. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Sarah's voice still drifts through mutual friends sometimes, tinged with regret, but I don't carry it. My life is full. Climbing gear in the corner, jazz on the speakers, Elena's laughter in texts, mountains steady outside. No games, no jabs, no one rewriting my worth, just me, thriving in a life I built from the ground up.